I think it's pretty well established, isn't it, that most all of us believe that the Miami Dolphins are going to be really bad this year and not due to any uncontrollable circumstances like they are intentionally setting out to tank this year as much as an NFL team possibly could. And frankly, can you blame them? They've just been kind of toiling in the muck of mediocrity for so long. You either need to crap or get off the pot. You either got to do the things to make yourself a contender, or you got to realize it ain't working, Charlie, and we got to do something else. It appears they realize that they got to do something else, which hopefully doesn't come to the detriment of new head coach Brian Flores, because you would like to be able to see him actually get some time, and it would be really, really hard to evaluate and judge him based off of this season, because you would have to assume that this team is absolutely going to stink. Absolutely going to stink. Not only did they not have great talent to begin with, but then you go out and you trade away Kiko Alonso. Then, of course, you got the big notable deal where you trade away Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Stills. And let's address this for Dolphins fans. You can say, well, you can't just trade away Laramie Tunsil. Well, yes, you can. When you were in a rebuilding mode, Laramie Tunsil has not quite yet established himself as an elite tackle in the National Football League. And somebody comes along and offers you 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick for said left tackle that is not elite as of this time, then you must make that deal 100 out of 100 times. If you're going to tank, you go all the way. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts! That's how you do it. Period. No conversation even really needed here. You must make that deal and set yourself up well for the future. What's really puzzling to me about all of this is you look at the draft, and they took Christian Wilkins in the first round, and I thought that was a great choice for them, a kind of foundational type of piece on the line in that defense. You know, a guy, high character type of cat, won a couple national championships at Clemson. You're looking at trying to change a culture. He's a great guy to bring into the fold. But then you trade the second round pick to move back, get one for next year, but then trade that second round pick to the freaking Cardinals for Josh Rosen, which on the surface can make a lot of sense. A guy that was taken 10th overall one draft before at the quarterback position, you're now getting with a late second round pick, still with potentially up to 4 years of team control in that rookie contract. And you're going into this season and you're starting Fitzmagic instead? That makes no sense. Now, maybe in the grand scheme of things, it's a good thing for Josh Rosen because no more Juwan James on the right side, no more Laramie Tunsil on the left side. Maybe you don't want to send him out there to get killed. But at the end of the day, you got to find out what this guy has. And you're not going to find that out by having him on the bench. And if you didn't think or already don't think that he could potentially be the long-term answer for you at the quarterback position, then what the hell were you doing giving up a second-round pick for him to begin with? To be a backup? To be a guy you potentially trade away or cut in another year? Good Christ almighty. Looking at this Dolphins team, 2 units that I like. Their secondary, I think, is really good with Minka and Rashad Jones and Xavier Howard. That's a pretty good unit. Their running back group with Kenyon Drake and Kalen Ballage, I think that's a unit that can do something. That's a unit, a nice 1-2 combination that can establish a little bit of a ground game for the Dolphins. I'm reaching for strengths here because they're weak pretty much everywhere else. The quarterback position. You're not winning a ton of games with Fitzmagic. And if you go to Josh Rosen, what the hell do you even have there? The offensive line has been shredded and decimated due to a variety of different reasons. Their pass rush, does it exist? Is Charles Harris ever going to bother to show up and play like a first-round pick? Probably not. You look at this Dolphins team, and there's just not a lot of reason for hope. You know, the best thing you could hope for is maybe they win a couple of games, like Week 6 against Washington at home. Maybe they can catch Baltimore off guard in Week number 1. Then you got, closing out the season, you go to New York to play the Giants, you host the Bengals. In Week 17, you play at New England. And maybe for Flores, coming from his old team, New England's not playing for crap in Week 17, maybe you can catch them now. But the reality is I just can't see where this Dolphins team is any damn good at all. Does anybody? This is a 3-win team. At their best, maybe a 4-win team all freaking day. They're just not good. And that's okay, because at least that's by design. You get through this season, ensure yourself a marquee pick, and make yourself a real power player in the 2020 draft. That's what matters. Winning 8 or 9 meaningless games this year, doesn't do anything but hurt your process of rebuilding, period.